I got the coronavirus on March 18th. I'm still not fully recovered even, but this is part 2 of my journey to recovery and my day-to-day symptoms. Day 9. The weakness I felt during the first half of my sickness was starting to return at this point. I woke up coughing a lot more, and it actually felt like my lungs were even more weak than before, and progressively got worse throughout the day. At this point, I also got a lot of chills in my body. The first half, I got a lot of fevers, and now I felt cold pretty much all the time. It was really hard to take a deep breath without having to cough, and I had a total lack of appetite. At this day, I also made a note to myself that I was super frustrated at not being able to heal at the same pace as a lot of people that I saw on TV, or just my peers in general who had posted videos or comments about them having the sickness themselves. It took them like 7 to 10 days to get well, and they were back at 100%, but my day 9 and I was getting worse and fluctuating still, so it was quite frustrating to keep hearing about stuff like that. Day 10. The bones in my chest felt like they were hurting every time I would cough. Like, it felt like kind of they were pressing against my lungs as well. Like my lungs felt super sensitive and it like literally hurt every time I coughed. And so what I would do was try to hold it in, and as a result it would like make me spasm a little bit every time, and it was not an enjoyable day. I also got like a headache from the exertion of trying to control my body the entire day. I was still weak. At this point I called the doctor again and got prescribed an inhaler, but from taking the inhaler, what I noticed was, because it raises your blood pressure, or just raises your heart rate, not blood pressure, I would get like really lightheaded and dizzy from taking the inhaler, but I was able to breathe. So it was either between getting a headache or breathing, and there was no in between. It was either or, so that was a struggle for day 10. Day 11. In the morning, I felt pretty much the same as yesterday, like pretty bad. I was still coughing. The headache, which usually goes away after a good night's rest, didn't go away. I woke up in the same condition, which was super annoying. But what I did notice was that as the day progressed in the afternoon, I was coughing a little bit less. It wasn't hurting as much to cough, but also at this stage I upped my dosage of acetaminophen from 250 milligrams to 500, so I think that helped a lot. At that stage my headache then went away. My appetite came back a little bit as well, because I noticed I was like craving certain things, like like a garlic pasta, beef tartare, things like that, random things. And so when my appetite comes back, it's usually a good sign. Day 12. I still had that same pressure feeling in the back of my head, which was resulting in my headache. I was coughing at the same level, but it wasn't hurting as much. I was noticing an improvement, at least at this stage. Day 13. I felt decent in the morning this day, and actually it was improving throughout the day, so that was good. I had less of a headache. I was still a little woozy and still a little weak at the same time, but I didn't have the chills anymore. I was finally able to sit at the dining table and have like a proper meal without getting super exhausted when trying to have a regular meal. So that was good. Day 14. Today marked a big increase in my recovery. There was significantly less coughing. Everything else was kind of gone. Like I had no headache. There was much less weakness. There was no pain and coughing. It wasn't bad at all. So day 14 was a good day. Day 15. I did not wake up coughing on day 15, and it felt it felt really amazing. It still felt like I had smaller lungs than normal. Like you could tell that it wasn't at 100%, but it was much better than before. You could like hold a conversation without coughing a lot. I still wasn't able to take like a full deep breath that day, but it didn't feel uncomfortable at all. So it's really gotten better. So at day 15, that's when I stopped recording my journey, because pretty much it's day 15 or day 16 right now. The big lesson that I kind of took away from this whole process was that everyone receives this sickness and reacts to it differently. My recovery process was definitely longer and is still continuing compared to a lot of other people in my shoes, but I felt a little bit worried that I wasn't recovering at the same pace. But now it's like I feel like I'm past the hardest part, and I just need to get back to 100%. I'm like, say, 90% there. In the end, the point of making this video is to document that journey. And if you become sick yourself, I think it would be really beneficial for you to share your stories as well. It doesn't have to be a video. It could just be a blog format or anything like that. I got a lot of supportive comments from people who saw the video the first time. So I want to thank everyone for that. I'm glad I was able to help people see this through the eyes of someone else if they don't have coronavirus, or if they don't know anyone in their circle who has the virus. But I'm glad I was able to share my story, and I hope a lot of people are encouraged to do the same, because it definitely will help others get through the process. Thank you.